Hello, it's Wayne Heili. I'm the CEO, Managing Director of Peninsula Energy. Today I'm joining you from the Lance project sites in the state of Wyoming, where we have a very exciting development. The news of the day is that we've restarted production at Lance after a year of preparation, a year and a half preparation. The team at the site has put the project back online, and we are capturing uranium on ion exchange resins. Project construction has been checked and moving along very well. So we're really excited to have achieved one of our major objectives for 2024, which was to put the uranium project back into production before the end of the year, setting the stage for a very exciting 2025 for Peninsula.
Well, congratulations, first of all. It's been a long, hard slog in the equities market. It's been a long, hard slog for you guys operationally on the ground. So what does this actually mean? You're back in production. What does it actually mean?
Well, we've been working on preconditioning our well fields, lowering the pH, getting the project well fields prepared for production. Now we've had a big enough portion of our well fields where the pH is lowered down to where it's yielding uranium, and we've made the decision to redirect that solution from recirculating in the well field into the plant. We're directing the solution into the plant, and we're capturing uranium on ion exchange resins. We're starting to build inventory. And while we're building that inventory on resins, we're completing construction of our central processing plant, which has been a big part of our story. We're getting the elution, precipitation, filtration, and product drying circuits ready so that Peninsula can be a significant, fully competent end-to-end producer of final product dry yellowcake. So as we get going, we know that the construction is moving along well enough that the elution circuits and the precipitation circuits will be ready for us. We presume they'll be ready for operation in mid-January, and we want to be able to have uranium to feed those circuits with, so we're starting to capture. So putting uranium on resins is the first step of the process. Finally generating it into dry yellowcake is a part of the ramp up process and sequential commissioning of our new plant facilities. And we anticipate having the dry yellowcake sometime the end of February, early March. So first dry yellowcake for end of the first quarter or in the first quarter of next year. And then we'll be shipping product and selling to customers sometime, hopefully in the second quarter of next year. And then from there, it's just building our production profile and continuing to grow the company and getting to nameplate. So it's, we're on the way. The first step, the biggest step has been taken. We're now putting uranium on resin and producing it out of the well fields, and that's technically a very big thing.
Being a producer and revenue, two things estranged to the uranium space, it seems, for too long. Let's try and understand that, if I may. You talk about a ramp up there. You've talked about the ramp up of the process. Have you any indication now as to the timing on the kind of ramp up of the production of the dry yellowcake? What does that profile look like next year and beyond?
Yeah. Well, we think that 2025, our production guidance for the calendar year is about 600,000 pounds, and that's a pretty healthy piece for the first year of production. Look, we're starting here late in December of 2024. So 2025 will be a full year, but we should be able to get 600,000 pounds dried and in the can. We have sales obligations of under 500,000 pounds, 450 to 500,000 pounds, and we can comfortably meet those if everything goes according to plans. And so far, all indications are good. But 2026 then, calendar year 2026, we have a much higher production guidance because we'll have been putting production into the the system. We'll be ramping up new areas of well fields, and we'll be stronger position. We're looking at 2026 producing between 1.1 and 1.3 million pounds. And then by 2027, we're talking about 1.5 to 1.7 million pounds. So it is a ramp up with in-situ recovery projects. You have to have new well fields developed. You have to have feed for your plant. But for us, the big issue has been for the longest time, it's a plant to feed. And, construction has gone quite well this year. We're getting to the end of the construction project. There's been, a tremendous amount of investment here at this project to put a central processing plant together. And we're now at the point where we've assessed that the plant will be ready when we get, when we need it. And in our sequential ramp up.
Right. I think a lot of investment in terms of emotional investment and intellectual capability, I'm sure. Financial, have you got the money you need to get this thing built?
Yeah, we were sitting, the last time we updated our financial position, we had about 68 million US dollars in the bank at the end of October. We were looking at somewhere around $15 million of additional spend to complete the plant construction. We fixed that price, so we're no longer exposed to the chance that we'll have bad news on the plant construction price. So that puts us, with a really pretty healthy bank account, $50 million or something like that going into first production. And yes, it takes a lot of working capital. It takes time to operate. You invest in the operations, you invest in your inventory, and ultimately, you can start turning that inventory into cash by selling. But, we do feel comfortable that, we had the construction paid for, we had the new well fields, been constructed and put into operations, and we're going to get travel down the road quite nicely, watching our spending, of course, but this is the time. This is a very fun time for the company to be kicking off production and starting to see the opportunity to generate pounds to sell.
Well, I think it's very exciting because we've talked for a long time now, Wayne, and I talked to a lot of other CEOs, a lot of other companies too, and what's clear is that not everyone wants to kind of rush into production, partly because they need an incentive price, they claim, partly because they've never built anything before. And partly because maybe some of them are still, cash constrained in lots of different ways. But I guess therein lies the opportunity. If you're one of the few people that is capable of getting into production where you can produce and sell pounds, one, slightly rarefied air, but two, you attract a different sort of investor. You also maybe start thinking, perhaps we can do more of this. Wyoming, very interesting state at the moment. A lot of cash-stranded assets, a lot of small companies. Are you looking at just sticking to your knitting and getting this thing wrapped up, or have you got one eye to the future?
Well, first and foremost, the Lance project is a district scale, very significant uranium project with over 58 million pounds of resource. This operation, when done right, can run for decades. This is a mine. This is a real mine. So getting it into production is the first step in growing it to becoming a very significant uranium production center in the United States. We have a 2 million pound a year ambition today and a license to produce 3 million. If we found 3 million was small or there was greater demand, we can amend our licenses and we can look at growth potentials. But, with over 50 million pounds of resource in the Lance projects, this is a long life project that can be grown in a tremendous way. We also have added additional property in the nearby area that we can feed the new Lance central processing plant with resins loaded at satellite facilities. So we can grow this into a hub and spoke type of operation in our region. Once we're in production and we're generating cash, this is a company that can look at growth opportunities outside of our immediate neighborhood and what we currently hold. I think that'll be an interesting opportunity for Peninsula. There are other projects in the region. There are other projects that fall into what I consider our sweet spot. In-situ recovery in the United States. Wyoming's a great jurisdiction with a lot of opportunities. Our team is deep and knowledgeable of the state of Wyoming, where to look, what to do. We've been laser focused on putting this project into production for the last several years. Now we have the opportunity to look elsewhere.
Okay, I'm going to sort of segue a little bit here in the sense that you talked about the team's ability to kind of get you to this point of time, which is like, let's get this thing into production finally, right? You've had all sorts of curveballs thrown at you. You're changing the team up, right? You're stepping back. We've got a new CEO. Or COO, I should say, COO,
Yes.
and Fred Guerin coming in. So to talk about the sort of changing shape, and the need for the changing shape of the team as this company evolves.
Right. Well, I came to Peninsula in 2017 with the objective of seeing this project converted. We've switched it over to a low pH in-situ recovery operation, and this is the first commercial low pH in-situ recovery operation in the United States. That was a big job. We're now at that point where we're licensed and up and running. Fred Guerin is coming in. Frederick is a terrifically experienced and knowledgeable in-situ recovery guy who comes from us, or to us, from Orano. He's worked around the globe on in-situ recovery operations, and he brings operational aspects and experience in the low pH field that, while a lot of us are pretty clever and know in-situ recovery quite well, none of us have commercially run a in-situ recovery with low pH. So he's bringing that experience directly to us. And it's a great pleasure to be working with Frederick here at the project. So I'm really happy to have the depth of the operating experience of Frederick coming in and working with the team that we already have to refine our thought processes and improve the efficiencies of what we're doing. For myself, I've been CEO here at Peninsula for 7.5. I'll probably make 8 years before I actually step back. But I'm a project-oriented guy, and the technical work that I came here to do has been done. I've kind of finished the big ambitions that I had, and I think it's time for Peninsula to take take the CEO position and get somebody who can bring this to the next level for the shareholders. I liked what I did. I enjoy it, and I enjoy Peninsula. And I'm stepping back, not out. I want to stay with the company. I look at a lot of things, and I know about the company and what we have, and I see a lot of places where a technical person, free to sit and think and do, can really add some value to the company. And that's what we're hoping to do is I'm going to stick with the company in a different role, non-CEO, but I think I can bring some real value to the company through some initiatives, based on the things we know now. Kind of like when I came in 2017 and said, I think we have some opportunity here to add some value if we change the way we're doing some things. There's a lot of opportunity here for us to grow the company and to improve efficiencies and do some really interesting work along the way. And that's what I'm looking forward to doing in the future.
Well, Wayne, appreciate your time today. I appreciate you also calling us with this news hot off the press. I think you've proved many doubters wrong. Peninsula has done what it said it would do in quite a tricky market, and like I say, you're in rarefied air, one of the very few Western producers out there. So congratulations.
Well, I'll pass it on to the team. It's a tremendous group. They put in the hard miles, and it's exciting to be at this stage, Matt. And I'm looking forward to a great 2025 for Peninsula. So thank you for the opportunity to join you today and chat about all the exciting things happening at Peninsula.